Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Endgame Faction Wars series. This is going to be the very final episode. No, it's not. This is going to be episode 4. This is the final episode I'm shooting. The reason is it took forever for the Barbarian faction to show up because they just sort of do their random thing. But anyway, here we go. This faction, I love the Barbarian faction. Here's one of the beauties of the Barbarian faction. Um, Most of these champions you see here, completely free when you think about it, with the exception of Turvold. And even Turvold, I didn't get lucky. I actually earned him from a guaranteed void pull from way back in the day. And he's maybe the least necessary to make this team work. So crowd control, right? We need crowd control. Yakarl brings a ton of it. Look at all the frees we're getting on the enemy team. Um, we have Shill of the Drakes, the 6-month reward. You get some crowd control out of her. She's got the stun wave that she puts out. She's got the healing. She's got the reviving. So we're checking a bunch of boxes that I've got up top. For DPS, we have Chronum, another free champion. Free. He's not exactly easy to achieve. You basically have to sucker 6 other people into the game and get them to play all the way up to, I think it's level 40 on 3 accounts, something like that. But you got to get people playing on 6 accounts. I think it's the next. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, he's difficult to get, but technically free. Probably not necessary to make this team work either. And Turvold really is DPS for the boss. He really only has single target attacks. He's actually on my main clan boss team as well. So I could do a showcase for that later if anybody's interested in looking at an endgame clan boss team. But God knows there's enough videos like that on the internet already. And last but not least, of course, we should talk about War Maiden, right? War Maiden is, in part, my debuffer. There are better debuffers in the faction, but you know that I like to bring a token rare, and my favorite token rare is her in this faction. Even though there's also Soulbond Boyer, and in fact, for a long time, instead of Turvold here, I was using Soulbond Boyer in a stun set and War Maiden in a stun set just to get tons and tons of crowd control out. So this is maybe one of my best factions in terms of control, in terms of checking all the traditional boxes that I like to check. Maybe Skinwalkers is one of the even faster factions to complete. But with War Maiden, I've got her in a stun set. And I think she might even have the subset of Frostbite, but she might just have an accuracy set. You want War Maiden to be fast. You want her to put out decreased defense before everybody else goes so that you can get through the faction faster. We're making reasonably good time here. But if you noticed on the screen before, I've done this team in under 2 minutes, but there's a lot of RNG involved because we are kind of getting a lot of freezes. That's unfortunate. We could try to bring a cleanser into the team, but really I wanted to pack as many damage dealers as possible into the team. So we got Turvold. Turvold can make short work of the boss if he can ever get an opportunity to take out the boss. Another variation of this team, particularly if you got Chronum already, you may as well go for Jamarsa, who I do have built out for support. I just decided in the end, you know what, I prefer Shill of the Drakes just because she's got a little more crowd control. But I was thinking about it. It was a difficult call because Jamarsa actually makes Chronum's various passives kick in more frequently. It also makes Chronum effectively invincible. But the champions aren't really going down in this party. Shill of the Drakes is really doing her job well. She's getting frequent turns every time she gets a turn. She pumps back healing for the entire party. She's also in a regen set, something that I like to do with my revivers. I say this in a number of the factions, but building your reviver in regen is probably the way to go. Although with Shill, there's something to be said for a I'm forgetting the name of the set now. Relentless. There you go. And you know what I'm going to do before I let you go? This is the very last episode, and it occurs to me in none of the episodes did I really showcase the gearing. So we can look at some of the gearing. Here we got Shill of the Drakes. She's in regen immortal. Her gear isn't even all rolled up to maximum, but it's okay. She's fine. I don't really use her in arena or any huge endgame content. I probably would if I didn't have better revivers, but this is what she looks like. These are the masteries I would recommend, particularly timely intervention at the bottom. It's just good to have her coming in quickly to be able to revive whoever's down. Um, let's also look at War Maiden quickly. We won't look at everybody. We'll just look at War Maiden because she's nice to look at. Also, she has stun, and she's a perfectly good example of the way I like to build my rares. So these are the masteries. Maybe we'll take a more in-depth look at the stats as well. This is what her stats look like: 234 speed, 451 accuracy. So I can use her to pretty good effect in the challenge rooms as well. It's nice to have a bunch of champions built out in stun. I think this dude is in stun. I have a number of the starters, they're in stun. Sometimes they even have the subset of frostbite. See, there we go. Here's one who's got frostbite. Um, he's built out for Shogun, and she's built purely for damage, although she's got relentless. Anyway, I'm kind of wandering off topic. We're here to talk about barbarians. She's a barbarian. We've covered barbarians. That's about all I have to say about the faction. Thanks for stopping by. See you on the next video. Take care of yourselves.